Hello students, that day I have explained about introduction and Battle of Plassey. So today Battle of Buxar and Carnatic War, the case study about Carnatic War. So these two topic, today I have taken a video from our digital class. You can watch and very simply explain there, so you can learn easily.
The Battle of Plassey, fought between the East India Company and the Nawab of Bengal, helped the East India Company to establish its rule over Bengal. The company appointed Mir Qasim as the new Nawab of Bengal. Once he assumed office, he rewarded the company with zamindari rights. He thought in this way he could free himself from their control, but he was soon disappointed. He decided to strengthen his position by reducing his dependency on the English. For this, he equipped his army with modern equipments and had them trained by Europeans. Mir Qasim also undertook steps to put an end to the corrupt trade practices that were prevailing in Bengal. The company officials were misusing the duty-free trade permits given to them by selling these permits to Indian merchants. The Indian merchants used these permits to carry on duty-free trade and did not pay the required revenue duties to the Nawab. This badly affected the revenue collection of the Nawab. So, the Nawab abolished all duties on internal trade. The changes implemented by Mir Qasim did not go down well with the British, and they now regarded him as a threat. As a result, a war started between Mir Qasim and the British. The British defeated Mir Qasim and announced that Mir Zafar, his father-in-law, would be the new Nawab of Bengal. Unhappy with the turn of events, Mir Qasim decided to recapture his throne with the help of Shuja-ud-Dawla, the Nawab of Awadh, and Shah Alam II, the Mughal emperor. The combined forces clashed against the British at Buxar on 22nd October 1764. In this war, Mir Qasim and his allies were defeated. As a result, a treaty was signed between the defeated rulers and the British. This was known as the Treaty of Allahabad. According to the terms of the treaty, the Nawab of Awadh had to give away the districts of Kora and Allahabad to the Mughal emperor. The Nawab of Awadh was required to pay a war indemnity of 50 lakhs to the East India Company. Additionally, the British would protect the Nawab against his enemies, in return for which the Nawab would pay for the cost of British troops stationed for his protection. Awadh was now called a buffer state. On the other hand, the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II was made a nominal head of the Mughal Empire. He was paid an annual pension of rupees 26 lakhs. In return, the emperor granted the Diwani rights of Bengal, Bihar, and parts of Orissa to the company. Meanwhile, the Nawab of Bengal, Mir Qasim, was replaced by Mir Zafar. Thereafter, the position of the Nawab of Bengal was reduced to being a mere puppet, as the Nawab lost all military and administrative powers to the company. Thus, from 1765, the English East India Company became the real ruler of Bengal. Following the Treaty of Allahabad, Robert Clive set up a new system of administration in Bengal known as the dual government. Bengal now had two masters. The Nawab, who was responsible for the general administration and maintenance of law and order, but had no control over finances, while the company was responsible for collecting revenue and wielding control over the military without having the responsibility of running an administration. Since the Nawabs did not have any financial power, they were not able to implement any policies. At the same time, the company interfered in the general administration without assuming responsibility. As a result, the dual government system proved to be unsuccessful. Both the economy and administration collapsed, especially when Bengal was hit with the famine. The board of directors of the company appointed Warren Hastings as Governor General of Bengal. Under the governance of Warren Hastings, the dual government system in Bengal came to an end, and Bengal was brought under the complete control of the company. The land along the Coromandel coast and its hinterland in southern India was known as Carnatic. It was initially under the Mughal administration. However, after the death of Aurangzeb in 1707, the Nawab of Arcot announced his independence and assumed power over the Carnatic region. Around the same time, arch-rivals Britain and France were engaged in a serious power struggle to oust each other from India. Their rivalry intensified further in India due to their political differences in Europe. Soon, Britain and France fought thrice against each other in the Carnatic region to eventually establish their supremacy in India. These wars were called the Carnatic Wars. The War of the Austrian Succession was an important cause for the First Carnatic War. In 1740, the French took advantage of the political crisis between Austria and Prussia and invaded Flanders, an Austrian-dominated region. In retaliation, several Austrian allies, including Britain, sent their troops to tackle the French. This led to a major war between Britain and France in 1744, which soon spread to India as well. The French East India Company had already established its base at Pondicherry in the Carnatic region. Therefore, Dupleix, the French governor of India, was keen to further expand the French supremacy in South India. Taking advantage of the Anglo-French War in Europe, Dupleix captured Madras, which was under the control of the British East India Company in 1746. The British immediately requested the Nawab of Carnatic, Anwaruddin, to intervene. However, the French defeated the Nawab of Carnatic at Santhome. By 1748, even the War of Austrian Succession came to an end in Europe. Both Britain and France then signed the Treaty of Aix-la-Chapelle, whereby Madras was returned to the British. Though there were no territorial gains made, the First Carnatic War made it clear that the French could no longer be underestimated. It also drew the French attention towards the weak southern powers in India. Carnatic War, fought in 1748, was actually a local war of succession triggered by the death of rulers of Hyderabad and Carnatic. After the death of Nizam-ul-Mulk of Hyderabad in 1748, his son Nasir Jung and his grandson Muzaffar Jung were both fighting for the throne. While in Carnatic, Dost Ali's son-in-law Chanda Sahib was displeased when Anwaruddin, a British supporter, was made the Nawab in 1744. As predetermined, the French replaced Nasir Jung as the Nizam of Hyderabad with their nominee Muzaffar Jung, who was soon replaced by Salabat Jung after his death. In Carnatic, Chanda Sahib, along with Muzaffar Jung and the French, dethroned Anwaruddin and ascended the throne. However, Anwaruddin's son, Muhammad Ali, escaped to Trichinopoly and was soon besieged by Chanda Sahib. The course of the war changed when British officer Robert Clive attacked our court to divert part of the French and Chanda Sahib's army from Trichinopoly. Subsequently, Clive defended our court for nearly 53 days till the British captured Trichinopoly and released Muhammad Ali. Later, they defeated Chanda Sahib and made Muhammad Ali the Nawab of Carnatic. The Second Carnatic War re-established British supremacy in India, even though the later French governors made peace with the British. The Third Carnatic War was once again an echo of the Anglo-French rivalry in the form of the 7 Years' War in 1756. Soon, the battlefield shifted to Bengal in 1757, wherein the British solidified their position with the victory at the Battle of class8. In the meanwhile, the French general at Hyderabad attacked Madras, leaving the gates open for the British to capture Hyderabad. Once Hyderabad was captured, the British concentrated on Madras and defeated the French at Wandiwash in 1760. By 1761, the French surrendered Pondicherry, their commercial base, to the British. The Third Carnatic War ended with the end of the 7 Years' War in 1763. However, as per the Treaty of Paris, the British returned all the captured French provinces. The success of Britain at the Carnatic Wars greatly amounted to superior naval power and mastery over sea routes, which provided them with steady supply of arms and other supplies. Besides, a strong and stable economy ensured continuous flow of funds. Other success factors were freedom from government control and interference, efficient leadership, and well-coordinated efforts.